What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and I'm back. Hope you guys have been well. Last weekend I was in Berlin, and when I came home I wanted to spend time with the family, which I did. We ended up getting COVID. I don't think I got it in Berlin because we got sick about Wednesday of last week, and I got back Monday. But we're all doing better, so we're back at it. We're grinding now. Gonna start pumping out the content. Hope you guys have been well, and I hope you guys took advantage of the Team Rocket event this last weekend. I'm sorry I couldn't make a video like this weekend letting you guys know, but there have been enough creators that covered it. I posted it on Twitter as well, so hopefully you guys saw that. But we removed frustration from our Shadow Alolan Marowak, and I also used an Elite Charge TM to give it Shadow Bone. This team is very strong, obviously made by Tho Technical years ago, and I hope you guys enjoy. Alright, getting into the first battle. Now, when I was in Berlin, I tried battling at the airports, and I lost a lot of rating, but that's okay. We have Galarian Stunfisk here on the lead, not too bad. Unfortunately, I don't have Hydro Pump, which would obviously be very advantageous for me in this situation, but we're just going to go ahead and build up like we do have it, and look to go for the Ice Beam. So, they're going to go ahead and go for a Rock Slide. That's actually pretty huge for us, considering we no-shielded, but I didn't CMP tie right there, and as you guys saw, they swapped into a Azumarill. Now, I don't have a straight answer for a Azumarill, so we're going to have to stay in this matchup. I am a bit ahead on energy, but I'm behind on health, which is unfortunate here, but this is the best I can do. I'm going to need to utilize my Sableye as well to try to overfarm the Azumarill, as my own Azumarill is probably going to be going down here. Now, this is also, I haven't battled because I was sick and in Berlin. I haven't battled in like a week, so I feel super rusty, but that's okay. We're going to learn today and have a lot of fun using Shadow Alolan Marowak. So we're just going to go ahead and go for another player off right away. We get it low, and then we are going to go ahead and I believe, yeah, they're going to go ahead and go for one here. I'm going to let this go, and I'm going to look to come in and hard farm with Sableye. So they do take me out, and we're just going to load up on energy with Sableye right here. Hopefully Shadow Claw down, but I think they have the play rough, which is very unfortunate for me. And Galarian Stunfisk as well is pretty loaded on energy. So we're going to go ahead and shield the play rough right here, and then fully farm down. Now we do have a foul play and then some, which is good. We are going to see the Galarian Stunfisk come right in. Now, this is probably going to force the first shield of the game here, which is I desperately need. And I have to make a big call. I have to call that this is Earthquake, and I have to shield it. I can't no-shield the Rock Slide, and I can't no-shield the Earthquake. So I do catch the Earthquake there on the shield, which is great. This is going to force them to have to throw a second Earthquake here, which is going to give some room for Alolan Marowak to potentially farm down as they do double shield. So they're obviously weak in the back. Let's see what it's going to be. If they decide to throw Earthquake here, I think I do survive as well. And we do with 1 HP in a dream. So we're going to go ahead and swap out banking the foul play, and then they decide to swap out as well before getting to the next Earthquake. Rock Slide would not have been enough damage to take us out, and it is in fact going to be a Medicham in the back. So things are looking really good. We did get the defense drop as well, so hopefully we can farm down. Oh nope, we do get to the Shadow Bone in time, so that is looking to be a good game. Very well played, as again we banked the foul play there on our Sableye. So this is going to force the Earthquake here from Galarian Stunfisk. Boom! Our own Alolan Marowak goes down, and we do have the foul play ready to go. So that's going to be a good battle. Very well played. This team, like I said earlier, is super classic. I'm sure you guys have seen it. If you guys have been around Go Battle League long enough, you guys recognize this team. It's really fun and just super consistent. Alright, so we got a mirror fight right here. Now my Sableye as well, I don't know if you guys noticed, but the combat power there is 1443. This is my XL one that I've been working on for 2 years. And it's at the point where I can actually bring it to Go Battle League and get some decent results. I have a couple more power-ups still to go, but it's still alright. That's why it does have return. Now in this matchup against Azumarill, because of the fast moves will always sneak through, I don't want to be CMP tying here against the opponent. I always want to throw off of the charge move, and because my own Azumarill is a high attack, as you guys can see over there, I'm going to look to try to win CMP tie here at the end. So we're going to go ahead and throw and then look to win the race, because we're both getting bubbles through at the same time, which means we're both going to get to the play rough at the same time right here. So I should be able to win CMP tie, which is what I'm going to try to go for. And they predict that and swap into Ninetales. This is Kanto Ninetales as well, pure fire type. So I believe I decided to come in with the Sableye right here. Could have come in with Alolan Marowak, but I'm not running Bone Club. So I just want to put a lot of pressure here with foul plays, and I might just let Alolan Marowak sweep. So we'll have to see. We do get a shield right there, which is I'm okay with, and I will decide to no shield here. I don't want to be shielding a Weather Ball. It is going to do a decent amount of neutral damage, but I'm reading Alolan Marowak might be able to sweep. So we're just going to do as much Shadow Claw damage as possible and force them to farm down. Now, I'm also going to come in with a Azumarill right here, knowing that they have a Azumarill with energy and they likely have Ice Beam and Play Rough. I don't need to be concerned about Hydro Pump. So I'm going to force them to throw, and then I'm going to swap or bring in the Alolan Marowak right here and just try to close this game out with Fire Spin, Shadow Bone, and Fire Blast. So let's see what they got in the back. It is going to be... It's going to be the Azumarill, so I'm going to go ahead and go for the Shadow Bone right away. This is a mistake on my end. I should have just farmed down. Again, I am rusty, but it's actually going to be a Sableye in the back. So this is now very, very dangerous for me because they're not going to throw. They're just going to constantly Shadow Claw. So I'm going to have to throw. I can't go back-to-back Shadow Bones because fast moves sneak through. We have to throw it, but they decide to no-shield. Okay, maybe they thought it was going to be a Bone Club, but either way, we take it out right there. I think I would have gotten a 2. I was 1 Fire Spin away, I believe. So super close battle. All right, moving to the next one, we have Nidoqueen here on the lead. We're going to go ahead and swap out into Sableye. We do see an Azumarill come into this matchup. Now, if a return lands here, I'm just going to go ahead and just try to take Switch if I can, because the Sableye with so much loaded energy is going to force those shields on the other side. And we do actually get a shield there with return. Wasn't expecting that, but that's okay. They're obviously wanting to maintain switch advantage. So I want to actually put some more pressure here. So I'm going to go ahead and shield the Play Rough and look to go for another return, as this is going to do a lot of neutral damage and get them low enough where I could just come in and farm down if I want to, or just take switch. And they decide to let it go, so I'm going to go ahead and opt for switch right here, especially since I snuck a Shadow Claw through. So I'm going to go ahead and shield this and then fully farm down right now and just have loaded energy. Now, the only way Nidoqueen, they decide to swap out into Meganium right there, so a quick swap by them, but I got to come in with the Alolan Marowak and go for the Shadow Bone as quickly as possible to force a shield here. The only way Nidoqueen can take out Azumarill is if it has a shield, and we forced the final shield right there with Alolan Marowak, and rightfully so, because the Meganium would have gone down. Now they are going to get to an Earthquake in time, so I'm going to get boomed again. Boom! Alolan Marowak goes down. This is what happened today. I got boomed. I didn't do too many booms there with Alolan Marowak, but we're going to go ahead and come in with Sableye, overfarm a little bit. I don't want them to get to a Frenzy Plant and just risk getting one shot there, so we're going to go ahead and go for the foul play. Now, like I said, the Nidoqueen has to throw multiple poison jabs in order for us to go down. So we're going to swap out right away into Azumarill because Ice Beam will one-shot them. So as you guys are going to see, they're going to throw the first Poison Fang, which is fine. This is a terrible matchup, but we're in the 0 shields. Now, I also need to be prepared for them to swap out back into their Azumarill, so I suspect that, and they do fully swap out, which is fine. And I'm able to now go for an Ice Beam here and take out the Shadow Nidoqueen, and that is going to be a good battle, very well played. Azumarill coming in with the boom. Boom! Takes it out. Good battle. Moving into the next battle here, we have Azumarill on the lead versus Bastiodon. Okay, so again, I don't have Hydro Pump, so not the best of matchups. We see them swap into Trevenant, so I'm trying to click on Sableye, but I'm a bit slow right there. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to give up a shield here. Obviously, don't want Shadow Ball to land, so I will give up a shield, and thankfully it was a Shadow Ball. So that's a good shield right there. We're going to go ahead and overfarm a little bit and go for a foul play now, just to try to force a shield here from my opponent, because I know I can win with Shadow Clawing down, but they decide to let it go. They're going to go ahead and come right back in with Bastiodon. So this is fine with me. I'm going to be able to soften up this matchup of Azumarill versus Bastiodon with these foul plays and Shadow Claws here from Sableye, which is why it's such a good Pokemon here in the Great League. So they're going to go ahead and try, I think they'd win for a Stone Edge right there. We are able to get a second foul play in, which is huge here in terms of chip damage for us, and sure enough, it was. So that's a great CMP tie for us. We're going to go ahead and let this go, and we're going to come in with the Azumarill. Now, we got to be careful about what they have in the back. I'm reading maybe Medicham, so let's see. Nope, it's going to be Venusaur, so double grass, actually. So we're just going to go ahead and come in with Alolan Marowak right here, and that's going to be a good game. I think I decide to shield right here as well. Frenzy Plant is still going to hurt, but they decided to go for Sludge Bomb. which is fine. I think Frenzy Plant's a bit better. And we're going to go ahead and go for the Shadow Bone here, just to try to force a shield from my opponent if we can get it, and then just fully farm down. We do get a little bit of lag, but they decide to let it go. It's basically over, right? Bastiodon does not have enough damage to take out Azumarill and Alolan Marowak, especially with the Fire Spins and Shadow Bones now, especially if we get a debuff, and we do get a shield. No debuff, though, so let's see if we can get to another Shadow Bone in time. But as you guys can see, these Fire Spins they're just really adding up. Sure, Smackdown's taking me out, but Bastiodon is not going to be able to get me in time as Azumarill has so much HP left. So we are going to be able to come in and bubble down, and that is going to be a good battle. Very well played to my opponent. Basically just had really nice counters to their team in the back as they did run double grass. So yeah, there's nothing they could really do. Good game. Alright, moving next one, we got Azumarill versus Sableye here on the lead. Pretty decent matchup for us, and notice that it's not purified. You guys notice that? There's no white glow. That means it doesn't have return. So this is going to be Power Gem or Shadow Sneak. I'm going to guess Power Gem, which is fine by me. I will definitely be able to force shields right here. So we're going to go ahead and over farm a bit, just making sure they don't try to catch the charge move on a Registeel or something like that. So we do throw the Play Rough. We do get a shield. And now let's see if we can get to another Play Rough in time. I got the bubble through, so I think we do have a Play Rough ready to go. But they decided to go for Foul Play, and I decided to over farm, and they still catch it on. They still catch it on Registeel. I over farmed right there too. But that's okay. We're going to come in with the GOAT right here and just load up on energy. I will have to give up a shield to Zap Cannon. But with Fire Spin, we're going to be able to load up to basically 2 Shadow Bones here before I throw one, making sure I have enough energy for the Sableye when we face off against it again. So I'm going to go ahead and throw the Shadow Bone. I don't want to try to commit to the full farm down because they're going to force another shield with Zap Cannon. So we just get the Registeel out of there, and the Sableye does decide to come back in. So we're going to go ahead and go for the Shadow Bone. Now, we still have our Azumarill, which is low but has no energy, so I got to use it as a sack swap. And we do have our own Sableye right here. Now, they're not... I think I decide to shield this right here. It's going to be risky, but I really want to close this game out with Alolan Marowak, so I'm going to bank a charge move and swap into Sableye and fully farm down. I don't know what they have in the back, but whatever it is, I want to Fire Blast it. I hope it's Galarian Stunfisk, because I really want to Fire Blast it. No, it's a Swampert. That is dangerous. I'm going to have to go for Foul Play right now. I think this might be... No, I do have Shadow Bone on my Alolan Marowak, so we should be okay. They're going to go ahead and throw Hydro Cannon right away, so that's perfectly fine with me. I thought they were going to overload on energy, but they didn't. Now, I Fat Finger. I touched Azumarill on accident. I'm like, oh gosh, that was a complete mistake. I don't know if you guys have done that before, but you just have your finger resting there, and I tapped on Azumarill. Now, thankfully, they threw the Hydro Cannon right away, so I'm going to be able to get the Shadow Bone off anyways, and that's going to be a good game as Sableye is going to be low. So that definitely got very dangerous very quickly, and some obvious mistakes on my end. Had I just saved the shield for Sableye, it would have been done. But good game. All right, so we got Altaria here on the lead. Really positive matchup for us, so we're just going to go ahead and just go straight for Ice Beam. They're not swapping out as well, so this is a tell that maybe they're weak in the back or they don't have the best answer to an Azumarill lead, meaning they probably have Azumarill in the back and something else that might be weak to Azumarill. So we're just going to go ahead and just stay in, and they decide to swap into the Azumarill Mirror, which is fine by me. Still having Sableye on my team. I'm not too concerned about the Altaria because I know Sableye can basically farm it down, especially since it's in the red. But it does have basically 2 charge moves loaded. So what we're going to look to do here is just get Azumarill as low as possible and come in with our own Sableye and just try to farm down with Shadow Claw. Now we do get a bit of lag right here, which is unfortunate, but it does come back and we are able to get another Play Rough off. Again, I'm just trying to do as much neutral damage as possible. I landed the Ice Beam against Altaria, so I'm ultimately not concerned with it. And I decide to swap into Sableye now and farm down. So we're going to go ahead and shield. And this is going to be a close one. I hope I can Shadow Claw down in time. I think I swapped a bit early. I should have done one more Play Rough. But they decide to swap into Altaria here. Now, I'm worried this is actually going to be Moonblast. So I'm going to go ahead and double shield, and it was just a Sky Attack, so that's fine. Now I have to really commit to energy right here, considering I'm down shields. I do have a damage sponge with Azumarill if I want to try to catch a charge move. And I have a lot of energy here on Sableye. So let's see if we can pull this off. I'm making so many like mistakes that I normally wouldn't make. Like I wouldn't swap in at that time knowing that Azumarill is going to get to a play rough. But that's okay. They have Defense Form Deoxys in the back. So this is looking to be a good game. We're just going to be able to get off multiple foul plays right here. And then we will be... I'm actually going to swap into Azumarill right now. We do get the shield. I'm going to go ahead and swap into Azumarill because I need them to force their energy. Because if I get to an Ice Beam right here, we can get that final shield from our opponent. Now, this all... Oh, I get boomed. This all banks on their Azumarill not having Hydro Pump. Because notice I didn't get to the charge move right there, which is unfortunate. I'm going to have to come in with Alolan Marowak. They swap into Azumarill. I'm like, oh, goodness gracious. They have Hydro Pump. You can just smell it coming. I'm like, Alolan Marowak, unfortunately, is not booming in this video. It is getting boomed. I don't know about you guys, but I have faced nothing but counters to Alolan Marowak. Boom! I get one shot right there, but thankfully Sableye can come in and farm down. And we are two Shadow Claws away from a foul play, and we can still get the W here. So good game to my opponent. Again, some more slight mistakes on my end, but shaking the rust off as we do come back to Go Battle League. All right, moving into the next one, we got Azumarill on the lead versus Bastiodon again. So another good matchup for us. They're deciding to stay in this time, which tells me they're weak in the back to Azumarill. So this could be a traditional Bastiodon Medicham Sableye team, which my backline with energy and shields obviously is going to take that one. So we're just going to keep building up to Hydro Pump and throw the Ice Beam to just do as much damage as we can without giving up any shields here. A Stone Edge is going to get us into the yellow. So we're just going to keep loading up on energy. I would love to get a shield if I can. Again, building up to the Hydro Pump and faking with an Ice Beam right here. So let's see if we do get it. Nope, no shield, but that's okay. We should be able to get to one more Ice Beam in time, which is going to be perfect amount of chip damage that we need in order for Sableye to come in and just load up on energy. Again, we're reading Medicham Sableye in the back because they didn't swap out. Remember the previous game we faced Bastion on the lead, they swapped to Trevenant right away. They had double grass in the back. So we're just going to go ahead and bring in the Sableye and just load up because I'm hard reading Medicham Sableye. This is the hardest read I've done in Go Battle League in a while. But we're going to go ahead and give up a shield and fully farm down. So let's see what they decide to do. They're deciding to stay in. So I have tons of energy, and I believe Sableye decides to come in. Yeah, they do bring in Sableye. So we're going to be able to get off the foul play right here. We have two loaded, and we're probably going to win the race to the third. Although they do sneak through fast moves, so maybe it's going to be a tie to the third. But again, I'm hard reading Medicham in the back, so we're going to have to be careful with our shields and energy. Now, we do get a shield right there. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and shield myself because I want to force that final shield from my opponent with this foul play right here. And we might just be able to win the race to the second foul play, or the fourth foul play, actually. So let's see if we do. It's going to be close. They're going to have to throw, and no, we don't win the race. So they do take us out, but that's okay. Alolan Marowak can come in and farm down, loading up with a lot of energy, but they decided to swap out, rightfully so, into Medicham right away. And I'm going to go ahead and go for the Shadow Bone right here. I could have gone for Fire Blast, but Shadow Bone is going to do enough damage. Doesn't boom, though. Doesn't boom, but we do get the defense drop, and 2 Fire Spins is going to be able to take it out as they do get to the Psychic in time. Now, the Psychic does a lot of neutral damage, but ultimately not enough. So Sableye is going to come in, and we will get to the Shadow Bone. Very close battle right there, but we are able to take it. So that is going to be a good battle. Very well played. All right. Oh, that was the final battle. Okay, so hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'm back. Hope you guys have been well. Again, super strong team. You guys know it. I just wanted to try it with Shadow Alolan Marowak, and it was very good. Again, you guys don't need to use Fire Blast. You guys can use Bone Club if you want to, and if you don't have Elite Charge TMs, you just want to use Shadow Ball, just use Shadow Ball. But ultimately, super fun, consistent team that you guys can use for Go Battle League. So, hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and like always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.